Hi, this is Jim Mann with Homestyle Southern Cooking. Thanks for having me back in again today. We're going to make another pie recipe today, and these, I guess, going home for Christmas, reminiscing, I've been thinking about things. I made a pie crust earlier, and we're going to make a raisin pie today. Now, raisin pies were very popular at the turn of the century. People used to take them everywhere because, you know, they didn't have refrigeration, so they couldn't store fruit. So people could always keep raisins, so they always kept raisins. So anytime they wanted to make a fruit pie, they'd make a raisin pie. So today I'm going to show you how my grandmother made a raisin pie. So we're going to step around to the stove, and I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, what I did is I took 2 cups of raisins, and I put them in enough water just to cover the top of my raisins. It's not 2 cups, but almost 2 cups. But I wanted to cover my raisins, and I let them simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes. And as you can see, they've all plumped all up. So there's a little bit of juice in here. You don't have to cook it all out. I cooked it way down. The next thing I'm going to add to this is I've got a stick of butter, which is really melted fast. I'm going to put that in here with my raisins. I sort of push around here a little bit in the middle of it. Okay, the recipe calls for 1.5 cups of sugar. Now, you can use all white sugar or all brown sugar, but I like to mix the two together. My grandmother said it made it taste better. But if you look at recipes, you either see one or the other. I'm going to use both. So I'm going to use 1 cup of white sugar, and I'm going to use 1/2 cup of brown sugar. I'll pour that in there. And before I start stirring, I've got 2 tablespoons of cornstarch that I'm going to put in here. Okay. Then I'm going to stir this all in here with my raisins to get them all stirred up. These are wonderful pies, and of course if you use all white sugar, it won't be as brown, but when you put in brown sugar, of course it turns it a little bit browner. Now I've got the big cans of carnation milk. I'm using half of that, which is about 3 ounces. About 6 ounces. I'm sorry, the can has 12 ounces. I've got 6 ounces of carnation milk. I'm going to pour that right in here also. And I'm going to stir this around with it. And the last thing I'm going to do is I've got some vanilla here. I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of vanilla in here. Now, what I'm going to do now is I've got to stand here and stir this, keep it stirring until it thickens up a little bit. So give me about 5 minutes to let me keep stirring this until it thickens up some, and I'll bring you back and show you the consistency. I don't know that you can see enough, but it is really thickened up. It's a really much thicker consistency than it was earlier. So I've got my oven set on 325, and then we'll take this over here and pour it in my pie pan, and I'll meet you back over here. Okay, we'll pour this right into my pie crust here. Get all these delicious raisins spread around. Wow, this smells really, really good. I'm not going to fill it any higher than that. I'm going to leave it right where it is. Okay, I'm going to push this aside. And earlier I cut some strips to do a lattice work on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking some of these pieces, and I'm going to put them across. I'll use a long piece first to go across the middle. Put this one across the middle. And just punch that down there. Then I'll get that one broke. Let's get another one. Let's put one here. And let's put one here. Okay. And then let's go back and we'll take this one and we'll put it right here. But it means we have to lift this one up. Lift this one up. I'm going to have to turn it off. Okay, I've got that little piece on here, and I've gone around and I've crimped all around the side. And now I'm going to put it in my oven for, like I said, about 40 minutes at 325. After it cooks, I'll come back to you. Our old-fashioned raisin pie is out of the refrigerator. It's been in the refrigerator about an hour and a half and cooled down. It turned out really pretty. This is a lost art. I mean, I dare say how many of y'all have had a raisin pie. So we're going to cut it right now. Make sure I get it cut. Okay. Remember, this used to be a mainstay around the turn of the century because, like I said, they couldn't get fresh fruit, and they always had raisins in their cabinet. So there is your raisin pie. And at this side, you can really see all the raisins. As a true test, let's taste our raisin pie and see what it tastes like. Well, it definitely tastes like raisin, but it also tastes like some other fruit in there too, which isn't, it's just raisins. Well, I can see why they kept the raisins on hand, because this is something that you could take to a family social or outside event that won't spoil, and they didn't have fresh fruit all the time, so they had raisins on hand. This is really a good pie that has been forgotten, and people have forgotten and don't make it anymore. I would tell you to try it. Put it with your recipes and see what you think about it. It's a very different type pie, has a very different taste, and I just wish you were here, because if you were here, I'd cut another slice of pie, we'd fix a cup of coffee, and we'd sit down, we'd talk about this pie, the history of it, and just get to know each other better. But maybe that one day that time will come, but until then, thank you so much for having me in your house. I feel like I'm there, right there with you, and I'm talking to you. And that means the world to me. You take care of yourself. Keep on following me on Facebook and subscribing to me on YouTube. Tell your friends about me. Until next time, you take care of yourself. I'm going to have a little cup of coffee and I'll finish this piece of pie. Until next time, I'll say this is Jim in Mexico. God bless.